double checking everything here before I start. How's everyone doing today? Yes, Johnny, we're a little bit early there. You know how the audio's coming out there. When I did a test, it sounded fine on my end, but just let me know if it's messing up. OBS has a bit of a delay to show chat. Okay. Oh, it's going good, Bane. Just checking my temps here quick because I've been having some issues the past few days with my CPU temps, and I'm thinking I might need to like reseat the block on my processor because I'm hitting like 80, and I had yesterday I was hitting like 90 Celsius. So just gonna keep an eye on that throughout the stream. Catch up on chat. Howdy, Michael. Howdy, Bridger. So I'm gonna I think I might make a new Jem'hadar character here. The issue I've got is the same one everyone else has with this bundle is, you know, half the stuff in it, weapons and all that, are character specific, which sort of sucks. So, the thing is, like, I have a Jem'hadar tack already, but I was thinking about making a KDF engineer specifically for ground combat because the KDF engineers, I think, like statistically with all the bonuses they have, are like the best for ground and max. Bridger, yeah, I've seen what you said there about the quad cannons. There's been quite a few comments about that from many different places. What else we have in here? Howdy, Charlie, Andrew, Darthon, how you doing? John, yes. I get paranoid when the temps start to get too high, and I've got everything like a water loop here, so seeing the processor hitting 90 degrees Celsius had me getting a bit paranoid the other day for sure. I know, Stu, an engineer. Well, the idea with the engineer would be to beat Rob, you know. I know Rob's not here right now, but just just let him feel that pressure. Though I do actually have a Romulan engineer that I've been slowly working on that I could probably toss a torp boat on just to mess with him. You can't hear it now, Triz. Terrible. And McStew, I don't know if that package has arrived yet, but once again, thank you. McStew had a spare webcam that he's sent to me, so when I stream on Saturday, I'll try to fit that in somewhere here. I'm thinking over on the right side is probably where I'll try and put it. Quentin, oh no. Quentin, I completely believe that story. Completely believe that you left the fishing hole early to come watch the stream. Okay, I'm gonna make a new Dominion character. I'm gonna go with the Vanguard because if you have the Gamma expansion pack, you may as well make a Vanguard. It gives you extra reps done right off the bat. So I'm gonna go with the Vanguard. And it pains me. It does physically pain me to make an engineer, but I'm gonna do it. Just leave everything like this. I don't usually do too much with the arms. What's the name gonna be? Yeah, I can't believe I'm doing it, Bane. I can't believe I'm making an engineer. I remember all the hate I got a couple years back. I put out a guide on Reddit saying here's the current state of the meta, and I just went on there and just said Engineers are still the worst class in the game. They are the noob trap class. I still completely believe that. Was delivered? Okay, then I'll have to go down and go outside and open the door. I haven't actually opened the door today outside. I'll go grab that then in a little bit then, Stu. Thank you again. Ross, how you doing? Anyone tried to open the bundle on a non-Jem'hadar? No, that should not. It shouldn't let you open it. Engineers the worst? Yes, Goss. They are the worst class statistically. But thankfully, this game has so much power creep that doesn't matter. Anything can do well. How about I just get good? Yes. Okay, name-wise, let's just class game. There we go. Better than Rob? That's I thought. I was thinking something with Rob's name in it, but just having that should annoy him. Let me skip this. There we go. Okay, so if I'm on this character and I don't want to play the tutorial because this is a really long tutorial. Yes, I get it. I used Steam to buy my Zen earlier, so. Where's this instant level item at? I don't even get access to it yet. What I gotta do here? How much of this terrible class do I actually have to play to be able to use the captain instant level token? Have to do the entire tutorial? That's 20 minutes more than I wanted to spend on an engineer.
Well done. More escapees.
Activate Shroud. Okay, there you go, buddy.
We should keep moving.
Excellent. Now you can make a surprise assault.
It's horrible. I feel dirty right now.
An additional dose of Ketracel White provides a temporary boost.
You know, I never actually did the mission on my original Jem'hadar, where you never have to use Ketracel White again or whatever. So my original Jem'hadar is named Poor Lockbox Gambler, and I thought it would be fitting if my character was just shaking from, you know, the addiction issues it had. I just thought it would really fit the theme. Rob, how you doing? Really, Bane? It won't let you open on an existing? It's supposed to. That's weird. Look at a tactical. A drunken monkey could play that class. Yeah. I mean, that's really any class at this point with the amount of power creep. Can I get out of here yet? I don't remember how long this tutorial is. Goss said like 20 minutes.
Seen enough. Remember, victory is
Your leadership. You fight.
Who I have to talk to next? This is a terrible stream. I should unsubscribe. Terrible cables.
Take this turbo.
Alright, let me catch up on chat. You love my choice in career, Rob? Terrible. Absolutely terrible. Can I skip cutscene?
Exit the way you came in. Turn right, then head left and enter requisitions.
Okay, let me catch up on chat again. Michael, that's, you know, honestly, I would say with just 12 keys, just go with Infinity. Or save them a couple weeks, because like I talked about in that news video earlier, it is very likely that there's going to be a lower decks lockbox in the next couple of weeks, or next month. The extracts are terrible. Lord Vane, I don't know. I'm gonna open mine right away on this new Jem'hadar, so I don't know. The existing ones are supposed to be able to open them. When you get to DS9, go to full impulse and tilt the ship up to skip the enemies. Okay. Thank you. Howdy, Mookie. Lower deck Spock ship may be near the EC cap or above it. We already see the really popular ships are already at that 1.5 bill point. It's... I won't be surprised to see it up there. Like the crossfield refit, that... No, that is what? Like 1.5 or higher most of the time nowadays. The Dalkina's really high because it's not in Infinity.
Can you vouch for?
But each time they add a ship to Infinity, it just reduces the overall supply, so... No keybinds loaded here. Terrible. Keybinds did this just load my... This might have loaded my really old keybinds. None of my keybinds loaded. Just load keybinds to make my life easier. I'll catch up on chat here in just a sec. Just wanted to get these keybinds done. Yeah, the default build on the Bugship is horrible. That's one of the things with them is some of the builds they put out there to show people just... Oh no, these are really bad keybinds I've got loaded on here. This did not load the right keybind file. I'm having technical difficulty. Yeah. Oh, great find. Keybinds are loaded now. I feel better. Oh yeah, the build on this is absolutely horrible. Beams and cannons on the same build? Yes. Though with surgical strikes, that might be something worth investigating. Like, have the Terran beam on or the Disco wide arc dual beam bank with a bunch of cannons. So I'm pretty sure with surgical strikes that dual heavy cannons are going to beat out any beam array options. The quad cannons, yeah. I don't have the legendary one yet. I'm just leveling up or going through the tutorial of this mission, which has just such a high quality build on it. You know, if I was new to the game and like, I don't know how I'd feel about this tutorial as a new player. Like, you probably, well, you wouldn't know that the build is horrendous. Man, this is just painful.
All ships, gather near the wormhole entrance.
I have no idea what's happening now in chat. I'm going to continue to suffer through this lovely mission, so I'll tilt up and fly past all the ships as Goss suggested
ships.
and
As of this moment,
see how it goes.
I have a task I'd like you to handle personally.
Battle the Herc. This complicates matters.
I will make our intentions clear to the Alliance before they open fire on us.
Just gotta get close. Here's what you're saying, Gus. Down. There we go. Yes, that saves a ton of time. Thank you for that recommendation.
Our sensors have detected the...
My favorite thing with the engineers is the fact that you can just call in an orbital strike while you're in the ship or like underground. I've always found that to be a bit of... No milk on, no. I have no idea what's happening anymore, but I am deeply concerned. How did I die as an engineer? I heard that they can't die. Reddit lied to me. I took Nick into some PvPs this morning, Rob, and he was having a fun time until we got up against someone in a side build. Then he just suffered. You know, as a casual player, I do have to die in content. That's how I show that I'm really casual. With the Gamma recruits, if you do make multiple, you can farm T6X upgrade tokens by hitting tier 6 and a rep on each of them. So if you're looking to farm some of those T6X upgrades as a free-to-play, it's an option, but I think for most of us, we have easier ways to get those upgrade tokens. But it is an option to keep in mind. this thing meant to be unkillable or something, or did I fail to do something here? Gross. Yeah. That's the issue I have with a lot of the story missions, and I know that's not, you know, the thing everyone wants to hear, but I'm not the biggest fan of most of the story missions. I like the environments, but the story sometimes I'm not the biggest fan of. You know, the story is not why I play this game. I play this game because I like to fly the ships around and blow things up. Story missions, I mean, there's been a few good ones, but I couldn't get into the Klingons story arc they just did at all. Of course, and like the disco stuff, I just really have a great time with it. Just run past this next batch of enemies. Just run past them, but gosh, it's so immersive.
We're needed elsewhere. Fight.
Science is actually, yeah, pretty good. My original main was a Fed Sci. I have to go back. Did I go the wrong way or something? I went the wrong. You know, I still want to do a comparison to show, you know, what the actual potential is for each class, like in a, like over on the test map or something with the exact same build. Just see what the difference is, but in actual play, I know that the difference between like attack and Psi at a very high level is not that big in a coordinated, like, supported environment. Talk to this guy. Yeah. This is where I would really love to have like some bubble obelisk and like an agony field generator. That would really help my immersion right now. Oh, they spawned back in over here. Yeah. Gotta just play this out. Admiral Six Killer, yeah. The Romulan story I did enjoy back in the day. And the Iconian arc, I think that was like the big story highlight for a lot of the older players, right? Was the Iconian arc with how much it was built up over the years. I don't think there's been anything quite like that since then. I'm curious to see where the Smear arc goes, but I agree with what I think it was Taco Fangs was saying the other day, that a lot of the Mirror stuff, it feels like it's been overdone a little bit in this game. A 3-minute time gate? Yeah. Howdy, King Pooh, how you doing? I thought the point of the instant level tokens was so I could skip this crap. No, I thought that was the point of that.
Keep them off us. Proto matter's done, but the explosives are still intact. Enemy target.
I gotta remember too if there's any music in the game to turn it off again. So that stream I did last week where I did the event mission, the rocket building one, I got a copyright thing for the music in that. So for 24 seconds of the stream where that music was playing, it like demonetized the entire thing. ROM Engineer DPS Master Race. I can't agree with that.
We're good.
Sorry, Chaos. I mean, YouTube does it better than Twitch. You know, I think
Nice work.
it did in the end give me the option to just mute that section. It just took a while for it to go through. But with YouTube, they'll tell you ahead of time if you run into any copyright issues. Like when I upload a video, it does a check before it's, you know, the video's public. With Twitch, you're just sort of screwed. Yeah, I'm just making a new Jem'hadar, doing an engineer, because technically they're the best for ground for engineers. I don't know how much I'm actually going to use this character, but I've got every other combo that I could possibly need, so.
Barely holding on here. Can anyone help? A Starfleet vessel is in trouble. Assist them.
I don't know if the 23rd century is going to see too much more attention until Strange New Things comes out. Then you might see some more stuff then. I'm going to turn the game sound down a bit because these Herc things are quite annoying. No. The only engineer players that have converted me to like actually trying to do something with engineers, so there's Solidor, who has a really nice bug hunt record, and if I ever wanted to like try and do bug hunt records, I would need to have like a properly set up Jem'hadar engineer character. For space stuff, I have a ROM engineer that I might try to do DPS with, but overall, my issue with engineers in space combat, I gotta turn this down even more, this is so loud. The issue with my engineers in space combat for me is that they offer absolutely nothing. I have fully built out TAC characters and Psi characters, and I know that even if I put in similar levels of investment into an engineer character, I can never bring it up to parity with the capabilities of either my TAC or Psi characters, just due to the limitations of the class itself.
This meeting is classified.
Get out of this system. Yeah, Michael, that's a bug right now. Admiral Six Killer, I'd like that. I think Pike was really good in Discovery. That was one part of that season that I did like quite a bit. Okay, so using this captain token now, let's see how this goes. Really the shame here is that I've got all of these. Give all them nice things it just gave me there. But yeah, Pike and Discovery was quite nice. Darthon, yes. Almost all of my characters are Klingons. Most of my investment with my account is on the Klingon side. Yeah, You know, I've got multiple fleets on the KDF side. I've got pretty much everything I could ever need on the KDF side, and I open almost all of my DOF packs nowadays on the KDF, so I can easily fund a new character. So this is everything I got from the bundle. You know, that premium gear. You know, this right here, you see where it says the full suite of Mark 14 gear. I'm gonna be honest and just say that this irritates me a little bit. Like, regardless of the issues that the overall Captain Bundle stuff has, you're paying how much to get this, and they can't even give you, they can't go far enough to give you a Mark 15 set of gear. It has to be Mark 14. It's like, you know, I'm paying $90 for this bundle outside of a sale. Is it really that hard to give me just all the gear you're giving me, just, you know, at the max level instead of just one below? That annoys me with this stuff. Hold on, let me catch up on chat here. I guess you guys can't see this. Let me turn the overlay off for a second. So this character that I opened this pack on got a full suite of Mark 14 gear. Got the Gamma Task Force and competitive reps done to tier 5. Gave me some inventory slots, some extra starship slots. A bunch of equipment packs for my bridge officers, 5 enhanced upgrades. Those are going to be helpful with the like 30 items I got to take from 14 to 15. 250k rep deal vouchers, which are going to not get me, or the value on the rep vouchers isn't much because you're getting so many rep deal vouchers now, and a million EC. Turn overlay back on. Peter, how you doing? Yeah, I think, like, regardless of the issues with the Wayun Bridge Officer and that Karactikin or whatever thing on the ground, they could have done better here. I've never used one of these rep buyouts before, so it's interesting. That one didn't do anything, though. I changed maps to make sure that didn't just screw me over. There it is. So with this, so I made my character a Jem'hadar Vanguard, which you can do if you own the Gamma expansion pack. If you have the Gamma expansion pack and you make your character a Vanguard, it will start with some other reputations done also. So in this case, my Omega reputation, Nukara reputation, and Iconian reputations were already done at tier 5. And then because I used the Captain bundle, I also got competitive and Gamma up to tier 5. So brand new character right off the bat. It's got 5 reps already at tier 5. Let me catch up here. You're still torn on getting the bundle or not? I think the bundle's worth it just for the Bugship. But I would only ever buy it at like this 4,500 Zen price point, which, I mean, that is the real price. Anything over that is, you know, overpaying, I think, is what Goss and several others have said there in that regard. Yeah, rep vouchers don't really do much because most people understand what gear they're going for. The issue with all the rep deal vouchers is, yeah, you don't need that many to get the gear you're going to use. Is that... I wonder if you add up... I wonder how much everything in the rep stores costs deal-wise. That'd be interesting to see. Just see how many rep vouchers you would need for that. Yeah, I'm not surprised, Michael. I'm not surprised that the gear from this is terrible. Um, Molinar, I might. Yeah, here it is. This is the. Could you imagine you just discard this and there's no way to recover it? You just paid $45 and part of the thing was to get this single ground weapon and then you just accidentally discard it? How mad would you be? Oh, you. Bayun 14. If you could get this bridge officer available account wide, it'd be amazing. Dark Ghost, how you doing? Sorry, I've got a bit of delay on chat. Yeah, Darthon. So, it'll take you a month to get that from tier 5 to tier 6 on these new Jem'hadar Vanguards. I would agree. The 10th anniversary bundle is a hard bundle to beat. I do think the 12th did offer a lot, and smaller bundle wise, I think the Legendary Romulan bundle did, the one that had the scimitar and the Dideridax and also a T6 coupon. I think that bundle at its 35% discount price, which is just under 80k Zen, I think that's a really good bundle for the price. Yeah, the getting the 10 or just getting the Admiralty campaigns up to level 10 to get the dilithium from them is always beneficial. Okay, let me. Yeah, I really don't like this. Like, all this gear that it's giving me at Mark 14, like, I'm spending how much money on this pack? Is it really killing them to give me Mark 15 rather than Mark 14, you know? That is one of the most ridiculous parts of this bundle to me is, oh, look at all this gear. Look at all of this in my inventory that I would have to like upgrade. I'm just gonna claim a bunch of split beams here because that's my preferred ground weapon. What? Look at this. It gave me 5 upgrades, and look at all this Mark 14 gear that I would have to upgrade. I have like an inventory full of crap right now. Like that is absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, the dill or rep payouts, that was definitely hit, but it's not the end of the world, I think, for dill grinding. That is until they hit stuff like contraband again or admiralty. Rep buyouts are cheap cash grab, yes. Okay. I'm not gonna do any more with this character for right now. I've got it set up. I use the instant level token. And I've got an inventory full of Mark 14 gear that Cryptic wants me to spend like $100 to attempt to upgrade. So I'm gonna swap characters here and start messing around with the bug ship. Let's go to SOB. Christopher, just wait. Apparently that was a bug that even was on 10 forward when they were showing the ship off. So that's just a matter of Cryptic being Cryptic. I need to get a ship off of here. Let's go with the Cygnus. That was a terrible ship. Batch 34K Romeo. What a interesting name. I forgot to grab an upgrade token. Yeah, that would have been nice, actually, thinking about that. At least having like an elite captain training token in the bundle. Like there's lots of little things they could have done to make it better, but that's not the direction they wanted to go. I need one of these round ones. So, as has been mentioned in chat now a few times and on Discords, Reddit, and everywhere, the quad cannons that come with this Jem'hadar Bugship do well. You can't upgrade them right now. Uh, you'll be able to upgrade them in the future. Just be patient there. That's just cryptic. Being cryptic. Make Voth Omni beams that come with. I think there's a lot of room for them to give us some of those shipbound weapons, like make them available in some form, like the Voth Omni Beam. I know people would really like. Um, I think there's a few weapons out there like that. Welcome back, Stu. How you doing? Okay, let's take a look at this ship in the Taylor here. So I think many of you have probably seen some of the fun combos people are doing. That was a really loud truck that just went by. So if I go to nacelles, there's one of these that if I change that, it just looks funky. It's got to be whole. I know that there's quite a few people that are happy about being able to make their bug ship look like this. I mean, I don't really, I'm not too big into this, but I know there's some of you that are probably going to be excited about this. Crit chance builds. I mean, yeah, you don't even need the attack consoles necessarily, like, or the locators to get that high crit chance. I mean, especially if you take advantage of something like surgical strikes, which is now viable compared to beam overload. Surgical strikes 3 gives you a 30% crit chance right from the ability itself. You think the Legendary D7 bundle is really good? I think I skipped out on that one. It's a good ship, don't get me wrong. I think I just skipped out on it because I had things similar already. Spock's Friday night, first time viewer and fellow STO player. Well, thanks for watching and thanks for stopping by, man. If you have any questions or comments, free to chip them in. The 11th anniversary bundle, the 11th anniversary bundle is one that surprised me quite a bit because I've actually gotten so much use out of it. The Legendary Vorcha has been an amazing ship for me. I'm getting just insanely good performance from it in some single target builds I'm doing. I mean, I wouldn't get the entire pack just for that, but it is really solid. So I think some people are going to like these nacelles. I personally, I still like the promo version of the bug ship more, the visual of this. So I'm just going to go with this type of visual. I'm going to set this up to do a rapid fire build on it. So I'm going to head out. Yeah, I'd like Ruin made account wide. You like the Vanguard gunship look? I mean, I could see why some would like it, yeah. I guess for me, it's a matter of I flew this variant so much back in the day that, you know, this is just the one that I am familiar with. I have here. So when you're doing rapid fire with polar-on weapons, make sure to check out the advanced piezo polar-on cannons. These are from the Lucari reputation. They actually hit really hard under rapid fire. There's an ability on them called technical overload, and when you first hit rapid fire, beam overload, or surgical strikes, the next shot out with this weapon will trigger this technical overload that does quite a bit of damage. Yeah, the legendary D7 would definitely make for a good beam boat. That's not the type of builds that I do, and for me, it was when I looked at it, it was just another, just another commander intel ship. And for me, I've got so many of those flying around that there just wasn't the value there for me personally. But it's a good ship for sure. Am I out of energy amplifiers? Right, let me catch up on chat here. Yeah, I've been mostly running exploiters as of late. Yeah, I would go with dual heavy cannons, Michael. On this build, the Polaron cannons that I had lying around are some Vaadwaur Polarons. Crit D or damage, either mod is fine. You should have your epic mod still is crit D damage. I think crit D is fine for the majority of players, and damage is probably what you'd want if you were like fully min-maxing with the cannons. Do I have any upgrades here? Yes, I do. I expect that this experimental weapon will probably do next to no damage, but I'll upgrade it anyways. Or I will upgrade it as far as I can. Quentin, I don't know what to tell you there, buddy. The Vaadwaur stuff, I don't know for sure there, Darthon, but that with Cryptic, that wouldn't surprise me. So Polaron. All I have here is locators, so that's what I'm gonna have to go with. Let's go Neural at. Maybe I should run the full Jem'hadar set just for the immersion. Yeah, I like the visual on the original bug ships over the one. It's not bad, it's just what I prefer. This last console. This isn't like a fully optimized build or anything. This is just me tossing some stuff together that I have on here. So what is the 2-piece on the Gamma? That's just a damage bonus. Slot that. Morphogenic is still pretty solid, Andrew. I think Morphogenic is largely more of a budget option, but it's still very effective. And honestly, if you're going like balls to the wall on a Polaron build, it might be something you want to consider. Hoodwinked, once you're past the tutorial, those should show up the in the mud store for you. I heard somebody fly by and hit a hazard on me. Jay, how you doing? Darthon, I would like for Cryptic to go back through and make ships, you know, some of them give us a way to make them full specializations, but that I feel goes against their monetization method. Their monetization method with ships is, you know, if they want to give us a certain layout, well then that's just a new ship. Spock, I generally, most of the content I do, I don't do a ton of like TFOs or teaming up. The type of content I usually do is very coordinated, and I usually don't do that much on stream. The issue with doing like the record runs on stream is you'll start to people will want to get in on the supported run, and it can become a bit awkward in that environment when we're going for like the record setting runs, doing like speed or DPS records. We had some issues a couple months back bringing in some people in to try and do record runs, and it didn't work out very well. Thanks for stopping by, Jay. Have fun. Legendary Talis, yes. The Legendary Talis is the only other Captain bundle I have ever bought. Let me get another console on here. I know everyone loves the DPRM. The funny thing that I have with the DPRM is, you know, most of the player base, it goes absolutely nuts, like foaming at the mouth wanting to get it, and meanwhile, you know, so few of the builds actually setting like DPS records or, you know, even bothering to use it nowadays. It's not bad. It's just, I think it's a very good console. I think it's just a little overrated. It's my opinion on it. Let's go with pilot. Let's do pilot team 1. Chemo 2. You don't see the point in record runs? Yeah, that's fair. I mean, there's everyone in the game has their own thing to do. You know, there's players that like to do, you know, just PvP. There's players that like to just play the exchange. People that like to just do the story missions. The thing with STO is there's so many different ways to play it. But my personal enjoyment, what I'm doing with people, you know, outside of streams, is usually that record-setting environment, because it's fun to have that level of teamwork in the game. To have something where we have goals of, you know, we want to try and hit this number in this queue. You know, STO's endgame doesn't really give you goals long term. That's where the record-setting environment can come in and give us things to do, give us reasons to do things at that level. Oh, you're fine. You're fine, Spock. Darth Vader, yes. I don't. You know, I got some hate for how I responded to the Section 31 ship where I just said it's not worth it. But, you know, at the end of the day, with how much those things cost, you know, it just, if the ships aren't good, but why spend so much? Do I really not have OSS trained on this bridge officer? Am I on my main character? Getting a team of bug ships could be funny. Swarm mode with wingman, yeah. Or get a gem dread carrier, the old promo one, and then just have the 4 bug ships in there with it. Or protect the carrier or something. Last DPS record, we're getting close to 3 mil. The highest run that I've personally had was 2.8, but that didn't upload because there was, I think, a loose sphere in that run or something on the right side. Darthon, how am I going to announce the winners? When that, so on the builds Discord, we've got a fairly big giveaway going on for the next couple of days still. Once the winner is drawn, I will send them a message. They'll have 48 hours to respond to me. If they have not responded within 48 hours, I'll redraw and repeat the process until I get somebody that responds to me and confirms that they're on PC. That's the big thing. So I need to put an engineer in this seat. And where? Alright, this is setting the ship up's gonna take me just a few here. I'm reading chat while I'm setting it up, so just bear with me. I do not need Ox to Bat. I only really need Tractor Beam. Let's go. Ox to Damp is something I haven't run in a while. I don't know really what I'm setting this up for, but it'll... The issue with this setup that I've got on this right now is I have too much tack that I don't need. So I can do a fire at will. Swap this bridge officer out. Not fire at will. On that slot. I guess I'll do like a torp spread just as a, or I can run another, I'll do hold together there just for a heal. Hazard emitters, good for driving trolls crazy. Hold together is similar to hazard, but it's only applied to yourself really. Okay, I'm just setting this up as a rapid fire boat, so this is going to be a bit speedy, hopefully. Go contacts. Go def cannoneer because we need to have all the inertia. OD. That you referring to Odin Knight or are you referring to by OD? I'm having a bit of a brain fart. Fragment. Oh, Obsidian Dragon. I don't have a ton of uncon procs on this build, but fine. Emergency weapon cycle. Or kill. Also with surgical strikes, I don't know how many of you are aware of this yet, but they boosted up the trade off the Husnock to also boost up surgical strikes now. At least that's what it was saying in the text. I don't know if that's like actually went live with the trait tier, but that is something to factor in that makes that a little bit stronger. Let's do tearing goodbye. I could do sad here. We'll do tearing goodbye. Let me see if the traits. It doesn't say it on the trait yet, but the tooltip on the Husnock, when you look at the ship box itself, says that it does. Save. I gotta fix this trait. I think I've said this numerous times, but this is the fun part of doing any of these ship builds is needing to go through and fix the tray. So I need to put all the consoles and all that on. Overall, though, I expect this ship to do fairly well. It's not going to set like DPS records, but I think I've said plenty of times before that that is extremely niche. And honestly, the high end, like all the DPS stuff, is so disconnected from the rest of the game now. Like the builds setting the records are just they're so specifically set up for those instances that I wouldn't even worry about how they are nowadays for general play. Sorry. So surgical strikes would replace beam overload. Surgical strikes, from what I understand from the numbers and testing I've seen so far, surgical strikes should beat beam overload and cannon rapid fire. Especially because they buffed surgical strikes up so that it also gives you 80% crit severity alongside the 30% crit chance. Your weapons do fire slower, but they're hitting so much harder than beam overload. Any idea why my timeline stabilizer console isn't affected by unconventional systems? Are you hitting the uncon abilities while the clicky is still active for timeline stabilizer? Because any console that has a clicky where there's a duration on it that it lasts, you have to wait until that timer's up in order to start getting the cooldown. Like if I hit my DPRM here, if I hit an uncon trigger at all while this timer's going on the DPRM, it is not impacted by uncon. All I use for cooldown reduction is Boimler. You can run a Photonic Officer alongside Boimler if you want, but I find Boimler generally is good enough on its own. The console is just straight up not affected by it, then that would be something that I would say to report, but you know how they can be at responding to things. Why spend so much? Yes. Darth Vader, the gambling part of the game is definitely something they've been taking advantage of for a long time. And it's something that I've definitely fallen for. I mean, the amount of lockboxes I've opened at points is just insane. I think throughout 2021 I opened probably probably close to 12, somewhere between 12 and 15,000 lockboxes last year. Now, I did that free to play because I had all those sad trait boxes on me from years back. Like, I had several hundred of them, but I could see how someone with a bit too much money could, like, dump in too much to actually gamble to that level. Thoughts on the 3-piece for the DPRM? You could do it. I just I don't it's not an actual 50% cooldown because of how the cooldown reduction math works. It ends up being only 40 seconds reduced or something like that. You can do it. It's just it's probably not the best option. You're probably better off looking at something like running the backstep console off the Vern on your build, or just slotting more uncon rocks. That would probably be more effective cooldown wise. Okay, this loadout's not perfect, but I'm gonna save it. I've been talking here for a few. Let me save this twice because we all know how the loadouts are. Gonna head into Argala and just see how the ship does. Just an Argala Elite. And hope that everything stays loaded on the ship. I'm asking for a lot there. I know. Actually, before I go to Argala, something that I've been doing quite a bit recently, after I save the loadout, I go to the ground, and then I'll beam back up to space and see if the loadout has persisted. When I go back up to space here, I'll usually resave it in both slots with the correct loadout, and then it's usually fine after that. Devices will reslot no matter what, but that's just the game. Also, I just remembered they apparently fixed the Agony redistributor today to make it give you the extra inertia. So let's try that quick. Agony redistributor. Sure thing. It gives you the plus 10 to inertia now. I 17 grand is fairly significant. Yeah, but I mean, if you enjoy the game, it's your money. I think I am sitting at probably by this point somewhere around $1,800 to $1,900 since 2012. At 1,500 years, a fair bit. Let's go to Argala on Elite. I mean, it is on Elite, but Cannon Rapid Fire just slams targets pretty well. Just unlock the new trait on yours? Yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing how recursive is and surgical strikes. Yeah, the Vaudoir Polaron weapons look really great. So when I fly a ship like this, like an escort like this, I use a mix of my keyboard and my mouse. If I hold down my my right mouse button and the left, like this is this movement that I'm getting. And I might sometimes do a little bit with the keyboard, but I just find with cannons using the mouse like this is just really fun. Yep, you're right. That Vaudoir proc is pretty much there all the time. I think Beam Overload misfired. Yeah, I tried to hover over it there. I think you were very much correct that the Vaudoir proc is pretty much always there. Well, the that is a good idea, Darthon, but in a proper environment, the shield shouldn't be online. Like with in a well, I guess in a more casual environment, that would work in like a channel run environment. Doing those instead of mines would definitely be beneficial. But in like a record setting environment, the shields should just be off the entire time. And in a record setting environment, I guess your teammates could run these, right? Yeah, if your teammates run the Vaudoir Polarons, that'd be all you'd need. Out of here. I think my favorite thing about that trait off of the Jem'hadar Bugship, which I guess I did not quite get out of that, but the Vanguard Specialist here is it will unlock account wide once I get it. Yeah, it's time for all the nannies to go back to Vaudoir Polarons. Yep, the trait did launch in the boosted state, yes. So the trait is very good. The trait is very much a must-have if you want to mess around with like surgical strikes. If you like recursive, it's going to be amazing. So with surgical strikes will give you 30 accuracy, 30% crit chance, 80% severity. John, they said on stream that the Weiyun was the costume on it was going to be locked to the default one that they had on it. That there was nothing you could do about that. Rob, what happened to the engineer? I got it up to the point I need to get it to. I used the instant level token on it just to see how that would go. And now I can delete the character. Yeah, I'm glad that Bort was able to get the change pushed through with this patch. I think that there would have been a very negative reaction from people, especially against myself, had that not been live. right away. That's when I did the news video earlier. I started it off by saying there's a chance this trait may not launch in the buff state, but it's there. Terrible, Rob. Absolutely terrible. Okay, I need to slot one Tetrion weapon on here because I need to get my Tetrion damage done for my endeavor, so I'm going to get that done at the same time here. We're going to go into another patrol. Let's see here. Do 9th rule. Did I see Wayun is fully trained? No, I missed that. Rob, the only PvP I know of is exchange PvP. I'm sorry, man. This ship will definitely be a very solid PvP platform. This is like basically a budget Deimos. Yeah, well, that point in that video was brought up because that's what a dev said that they wanted to do. Inge DPS Master Race? Oh no, I looked at the table and I think the top engineer is still like a fair bit below the top pack. I forgot to make Rob a moderator. Terrible. I'm sorry, Rob. How many hours of gameplay do I have? Is that what you're asking? That's not a number I think any of us want to see. Very scary number. If I type in /played. Oh no. Oh no. Hide that. Nobody saw that. Why does Spencer wake up every day and choose violence against engineers? It's because I play. So in the group that I do things with, there's this engineer player that just it's aggravating. Madron ship disappear. I got a bugged map. Okay, let's leave the map because the ally or whatever did not like spawn in, so I can't actually complete it. Hey Alan, how you doing? Gotta love it. Like this is why I don't normally do 9th rules, because I screw it up too often and then the thing doesn't spawn in. It's terrible. It hurts the immersion. At least the XP. It gave me the XP from that at least. I like that there's just a Juggernaut here. no name on it. Oh, now there's. That's weird. It wasn't loading in Chell's name there for a minute. That's weird. Yeah, let's go into another patrol and hope that it doesn't completely screw me over. Juggernauty? Oh no. But overall, like flying the ship so far through these patrols, I mean, you know, it's not, like I said earlier, it's not going to set a DPS record. It's not a torp boat, but if you're looking for something to just fly around, use cannons with, it's going to do really well. It's a fun ship. So I'll catch up with chat here in a sec, but I see reroute reserves to weapons brought up there. When reroute reserves initially came out on the test server, when it was being play tested back when they actually had players test things out on Tribble, reroute reserves was usable alongside the other weapon types or like the other firing modes from what I remember, and then they changed it to be on its own, and that really is what has limited it. If it could be used alongside like beam overload, it'd be amazing. I'm gonna die here. I should probably slot some survivability and get good. Let me catch up on chat. You have the big Vanguard pack and mods with a strike. So Phantom, I would say the big thing with this is, you know, the ship, it's a 5-2 bug ship, obviously, but the trait off of it is really the big thing from it to me. This is going to allow stuff like surgical strikes to have really good uptime and compete against beam overload to the point to where surgical strikes is probably going to, you're going to see videos coming out that it's probably beating beam overload. And first time watching, well, thank you for stopping by. Just flying around with cannons is just really fun to me. It's really immersive. And yeah, $45 compared to the other ways to get the bug ship, it's not bad. I know you said you already have the strike ship, so you already have go for the kill, but this still has the extension trait on it for surgical strikes, recursive shearing, reroute reserves. Like it's a really good trait on this. Bring out the next clone and batch 35 bug ship? Yes. Imagine if it said that every time you died in one of these ships, it just said something like that to There's just a meme about it. That'd be nice. Just have a counter for each time you die in the bug ship. Basically. That'd be pretty funny. I didn't realize to put my DPRM on the spam bar. Catching up on chat again here. Yeah, surgical strikes is limited on what ships that can use it, so it does make sense in that regard that it should, yes, be better. It also goes into a commander slot, whereas beam overload can be used from ensign to lieutenant commander. Surgical strikes starts at lieutenant commander. Also, I am not using pilot abilities like the pilot maneuvers because I have them turned off because I double tap them all the time when I had pilot ships. There's a thing in the settings you can do to turn them off. I think the biggest takeaway from this, other than the the sh- the ship, you know, being fairly nice, is that the Vodvar Polaron weapons look just amazing. Yeah, that is one thing that sucks with this for sure, is you can't really take advantage of surgical strikes on the bug ship itself. Um, but it is nice that it gives you that option for other ships. Like, you know, surgical strikes being good, that brings the scimitar back into play for energy weapons a bit more than it already is. It brings the vengeance. Like, how many people here have a vengeance that they haven't used in years? Now you can do surgical strikes on it. Freak Boy, I do not know. Unfortunately, I'm sorry. I would, if I had to guess, I think maybe level 62. Like there's a bunch of ships, and I was can I get off this map. That should give me the trait. Legendary Calvin Connie, yes. Well, isn't that comparable to the Vengeance? Let me check. I got a spreadsheet here, so give me a second. So you're saying the Legendary Kelvin Constitution, and if we compare that to the Vengeance over here at the right. So the issue with the Kelvin is it's got a commander intel and then probably like a lieutenant intel. So the Vengeance does have temporal as the secondary instead. And they're fairly similar ships, to be honest. The Vengeance and the legendary Kelvin. Both 5/3. Vengeance has a hangar bay, the Kelvin doesn't. I mean, yeah, they're fairly close. Yeah, Asgard, that'll be fixed though. That'll be fixed. Like if we look at ships that are going to be able to do, you know, Surgical Strikes 3, I mean, there's a lot of ships that people haven't touched in a while here that are going to be shooting back into popularity. Set this so it's only showing fleet ships. I love this spreadsheet. This is Leffel put this together. He posted it on Reddit a while back. Like this has made my life very easy comparing some ships. Yeah, the legendary D7 should do fairly well. I'm personally Miracle Worker is not something I do too much with. If this right here, if this legendary ambassador was like a 5/3, this would be the winner. Like because you'd be able to do Surgical Strikes 3 and the recursive 1. I mean, Miracle Worker is definitely a solid option. I'm not a big fan of the Miracle Worker specialization. I just don't think it offers that much other than, you know, that the couple damage boost, but I understand the appeal of it for most players. Let me change. I think most of these that we'd be using would have either tack or Inge as the commander seat. Yeah, the D7 definitely has some value there. If I change this to only show 5 forward weapons, that narrows the list down a bit. I think the scimitar is going to be huge for it. That's the scimitar layout is going to be really good for the surgical strikes. The Talus will do good if you have the legendary one. The D7, like you said, there's a lot of ships that are going to become very viable with this. Yeah, the legendary Galax here, the Galaxy Dread, that'll work. I don't know. Surgical strikes, I'll be messing around with it a bit more over the weekend, most likely. I want to get some testing done, and Monday's video is most likely going to be a comparison between rapid fire, beam overload, surgical strikes. You know, seeing with surgical strikes too, I'm going to expand that to be here's surgical strikes with a dual beam bank setup. Here's surgical strikes with the dual heavy cannon setup. Favorite Vandy shield, the Lucari. I quite like how the Lucari looks, and it's the one that I end up using the most. Where is it here? It's also the one that I'm having the hardest time finding right now, apparently. The Lucari gives like that Tron blue line appearance on some ships. I like it. You know, the Section 31, those are always good. But Lucari I like. I use the Slime Devils quite a bit, but that's mostly just to mess around with Trizander over on Twitch. He's a good friend of mine. He absolutely cannot stand the Slime Devils. He really gets into his RP, you know, and he can't stand how much that hurts his immersion. So I end up using the Slime Devils a fair bit just to annoy him. I'm a terrible person in that regard. Because temporal confuses a lot of players. Temporal, I could see why they haven't given us more ships with temporal. I think temporal's good. I think a lot of people underrate temporal, I would say, compared to the other specializations. I think in general there's too much focus on miracle worker. I think the only good thing about miracle worker is that extra console slot. Really, I don't care about the abilities that much. Shoot some more stuff here. I know Chaos mentioned that this would be the next ISA ship, and I know he's joking, but it should do fairly well in ISA. The issue with ISA and these rapid fire builds or beam overload is the harsh truth, the harsh reality when you have any of these single target firing modes in infected is they suck. Like, I think beam overload is terrible in ISC, so is rapid fire, and so will surgical strikes. Torps do a lot of single target damage, but they also have a lot of AoE. But with rapid fire, beam overload, surgical strikes, you're relying heavily on your team actually taking out a lot of the targets for you. What I want to do here, I feel like doing a cure. I'm just going to join the public queue for cure found if anyone wants to join in. Legendary Anorax with full temp ops? I wish, Goss. I absolutely wish. I have the Anorax on a couple of characters. I love that ship. Yeah, some of those older shields definitely are showing their age. Temporal and Intel are your favorite specializations after Command? I would agree with that. Those are the ones that I find myself having the most fun with. So we've got 2 Silix in here and 3 of the new bug ships. I approve. Fire at Will still works. Fire at Will isn't what it was like 10 years ago, but it's not unusable. You see you see how fast I can take down single targets, but there's all this time it takes to do cleanup? That's the downside to cannon rapid fire, beam overload, surgical strikes. And even if I put down a console like the Agony Redistributor, it doesn't guarantee I'm going to take them all out because they might die too fast for the Agony console to do anything. I just realized that SCM is completely covered by the new chat window I put in. But Elliot, to further elaborate on Fire at Will, like Fire at Will is still very viable. Every tank is still running Fire at Will, and Fire at Will can do high DPS. Fire at Will, if you have a really good build, you could still get Fire at Will above like 1,000,000 DPS and Infected Elite if that's what you're trying to do. Hoodwinked, that's bugged. Apparently it was bugged when they were showing the bug ship off on stream, and the bug has not yet been fixed. So my response to your comment about the Polarod quad cannons would simply be cryptic. It's just remember who designed this game. Yeah, fall works great and quite a bit of content. Mark, I mean, I was hoping for a Temp Ops Fest also, but I am perfectly content with Intel with the theme of that design from the concept art that they put out. That concept art for the Vesta was amazing. I don't usually get too much into the ship visuals, but that skin made me like instantly want the Legendary Vesta. Um, Mark, yeah, I could see that helping. I mean, we do have stuff like the Agony redistributor that can help with um that can help, you know, spread the damage out, but that's it for now, you know. We have Agony that will let you take the damage you're doing to one target and distribute it to the others, but it's not going to have 100% uptime, and it's also sometimes dependent on the server. I have hit this in some runs and not seen it do its first tick of damage for like 10 seconds. Like, it's entirely reliant on server performance, like most things in the game. Uh, Cold, I agree with that. Chaos, what starship trade is best for Fa? ETM is technically the best, but you have to be careful using ETM on some tanks because ETM requires you to use a torpedo, and if you're trying to like boost somebody in a torpedo build, that doesn't work out. So the high-end tanks for record runs end up using redirecting arrays, but for anything else, I would always recommend ETM. Yeah, Mark. Secondary temporal seat would definitely be. Overall, like, you know, flying the ship around, it so far it's doing everything I expected it to do. You know, in these patrols and the queues. Um, you know, like I said with earlier with rapid fire is not going to set the top of the charts. This ship is going to do very well. It's just, you know, it's not set up to be the ship setting the records. It's a really strong PvP ship. The trade off of it is really important for a variety of builds now, especially if you want to do surgical strikes. Like, overall, I think the bundle's worth it just for the ship, but that's my opinion. ETM is entwined tactical matrices. So that is the trait off of the Gagarin, and I forget what KDF ship it comes off of. Like the Quo or something. I'm misremembering what ship it comes off of. It's definitely the Gagarin for feds. Basically, when you hit Torp Spread, it gives you Fire at Will and Scatter Volley 1 to yourself. It's really important. Yeah. Mark, that is something that I would say you just bring up to them and hope that they can, you know, spend a little bit of time to get those issues resolved. The issue there is if they're given time to do that. That's an issue with a lot of things nowadays in the game. If they're able to do it, if Cryptic that, you know, actually assigns it to them, or if they have to do it in their free time. Which, I mean, it's nice that they do things in their free time, but it sucks that that's what we have to rely on for certain things to happen. I would personally, I don't bother with the forums. I think the forums are pretty much a waste of time nowadays. Twitter does seem to get their attention. Otherwise, if you wanted to reach out directly to someone, I would usually say Crying over on the Reddit Discord. He's one of their QA people. If you shoot him a message with the bug and explain it thoroughly to him, um, he can take a look at it usually. Yeah, the disco set is really good. ETM is also a very important trait for a lot of builds. The tank builds usually need it because it's the best way to have permanent follow-up time. It does require you manually time your torp spreads, though. Just keep that in mind, but it works out really well. It's also, if you're doing a torp boat, you almost always need ETM. Two-piece disco is all you need for survivability, but the three-piece is commonly used for the damage that can do for tanks. I think it helps just annoy the targets a little bit more. Kartzy, yes, the official forums are terrible. They have been terrible ever since they did the revamp to them like half a decade ago. Everything that was initially on the forums from the first few years of the game, all the threads that explained how various mechanics worked, all got nuked because they went to a different forum software, and I stopped really engaging with the forums after that. At that point, it became better to use like Reddit STO builds, and external sources like that. The nice thing about this is I have Vanguard Specialist on my other characters now. So if I go to casual, that trait is unlocked. And cold, I would agree. If everything they're talking here, there's a lot of big things that they talk about that they've had to do on their free time, and it does make you wonder what's happening. What are they doing on the paid time? I think that is very much a good question. If we're hearing that the Intel revamp had to be done completely in free time, like it's just ridiculous. And as always, I always check the Riemann Bridge Officer market because these uncommon ones that have Infiltrator are worth a lot. Like you see here, there's some posted at 450 and 650 mil. Occasionally, someone that doesn't understand why Infiltrator is important will post one really cheap, and it's a bit of free money right there. Asgard, thank you for the super chat. Very much appreciated. Brett, the Intel revamp that is still broken. I mean, I don't know, or I guess you're referring to the issues with like Intel Team, right? Like with regards to PvP. I'm happy with the changes for like ionic turbulence. There's a bridge officer that has Intel on it. Like the changes to ionic, I'm really happy about. Kinetic magnet. Some of these abilities got nice changes, but I do agree. Intel Team is really powerful. Terran, I made a new Jem'hadar character. You have to play through the first mission there of the tutorial in order to use the instant level token on it. You have to go to the point where you select your faction, and then you can use instant level. I wonder how Surgical Strikes 1 would perform versus Beam Overload 3. I'm gonna have to try that out too when I do the testing over the weekend. Legendary Tron, how you doing? Yeah, the dev team is definitely not as large as it once was. I wish that they would, expand some parts of the team a little bit, like um systems QA. You know, and I'm not trying to like be really negative about their QA or anything, but I think it's ridiculous the amount of like new traits or consoles that come out that just don't work at launch. How many it feels like almost every release something about the new ships that comes out is broken. And honestly, I feel like with some of the lockbox traits that comes out from the starship traits, it feels like they were never actually tested. Like nobody internally sat down and was allocated the time to actually test them before releasing them. Be funny if the tutorial got you to 65. Yeah. Imagine you get an instant level token to go from 65 to 65. Yeah, that'd be great value, wouldn't it? Found you in my friend's Discord. Nice. Yeah. So I think I removed the video, but let me check here. I want to see if I still have it. I did a video a couple years back, and I think I removed it because I had tried to apply for a job there, and I thought that this video would not be great to have up. Or Legacytron, thank you for the. So hit and run. There we go. Yeah, I made this video private. Let me pull it up here. Made this private because I had tried to apply to their systems position a year or so back, but I removed this because this was like a full-on bait and switch that they did. The funny thing with this, and it was leaked from people that extracted the data from the Tribble game files like a month in advance, and then it took them a month, like a month after it actually released. So it was like this basically for 2 months internally, where it was giving 30% crit chance rather than 30% crit severity. So it was out for a month by the time they changed it to be severity rather than chance. Like it was just like laughable because of just how bad the QA on the traits was. When was this? 2017. Like it was absolutely ridiculous. Like I said, it was a month internally. It was giving you 30% crit chance, which means that anyone that simply looked at it internally would have seen, hey, this is giving 30% crit chance, and we wanted it to give severity. And if it just happened one time, fine, but with Cryptic, it happens like every release. It gets frustrating. Should just come out in stir state to begin with. Yeah. I still think the Agony Redistributor, I still think, why is that on the build? I still think it should be nerfed. Like, I get that it makes single target damage, it helps single target builds do a lot of AoE, but it does a lot of damage. If I pull up a DPS record here. The new Dreadnought Science Console, I think they fixed that. I don't know. I'll catch up on chat here in a second. Let me share screen. So like if I look at like one of the really high-end runs right now, the Agony Redistributor will show up under pets. So in this run where I did 2.6 million, that console by itself did 508k. Now keep in mind that in order for it to do a lot of damage, you have to be doing a lot of damage to a target in order for it to actually do a lot. But the fact that a console is capable of giving this level of damage is just crazy to me. It seems overpowered. Yeah. Olznar, I completely agree. I know I'm mispronouncing your name there probably, but I get what you're saying, and it is frustrating. Rick. Yes. Any updates to the Dominion, to the Gamma Recruit stuff would have been added to the existing ones. Whenever they add, or whenever they update any of the recruitment events, it is retroactively applied to the existing ones. X Jim, how you doing? Yeah, Asgard, with the Agony console, it's basically free. Though I have to emphasize that if you're somebody doing like 50k DPS, you're obviously not going to get that same level of benefit from it. You know, if you put up a parse, or if you find someone down here that's using Agony console, it's going to have given them a little bit of damage, but it's not completely free. You have to be able to do damage to get the insane damage from it. But even for that, it's still too damn powerful. Let me see here. Remember when feedback pulse did like 4 times the damage back? Yes, I remember that time. That was quite a fun time. Ray, you don't have the Agony console? That's terrible. But you do ISA, and it wouldn't be as beneficial in ISA, so I understand. It's more beneficial in these really high-end, the really high-paced, like, ISC runs. Let me find one of them here. I post. Rob, KDF. KDF is the way. Hold on, I'm gonna look for a video here quick just to show. If you have a really good single target build, then you're gonna, yeah, you should see a fair bit out of Agony. But if you're using like a scatter volley build or a fire at will, you know, obviously if you're running that, you're doing less single target damage, so. Yes, even Brett knows. Brett knows that the best class, or the best side, is KDF. Damn parson. A minute, I'm trying to find where I have a parse. Thank you, Stokes. Thank you for watching. I should say too, something I've had an idea for content-wise. I'm thinking of doing like a YouTube series. Well, I'm not thinking. I'm going to do a YouTube series that's going to be like just like meta breakdowns. So probably be like the name will be along those lines. And it's just going to be explaining various meta things. They're going to be hyper-focused videos. So like the first one's probably going to be you know, how is the or how and why is the Deimos immolating phaser lance used alongside universal designs? So I've had some requests to explain that interaction, and I just think a video on that would be beneficial for people. So I found the VOD now, or I found the run. Now I just need to find the VOD to go alongside it. 2150. I do too many ISE runs. Anyway. Okay. So display capture. I think this is the right run. So the Agony console, you notice here how at the start, if I go back here, with the Agony console, I'm only targeting the tack cube right here in the center. I'm not caring about the side cubes at all. I'm just targeting the center cube. Center cube goes down 4 or 5 seconds, and everything else dies around it because of the Agony console. Now this run would have been crazy had this one uploaded. Unfortunately, I think in this run there was loose on the right side or something. I don't quite remember, but I think this was the right run. I think I hit dock too early. No. Oh, that wasn't it. It was just the stuff on the right side. Like, this would have been a monster of a run too. When that tack cube went down, 2.763 mil. Agony console in that run, just under 500k. Let me catch up on chat here because I am a little bit behind. Oh, I'm cold. I missed your question there on Sire Tack. Oh, were you saying that? You were saying that in response to Rob. Never mind. Yeah, Stokes, I agree with that. The idea of showing or explaining, you know, the reason why things are on a build, definitely that'd be beneficial. Like I can say, you know, like with the immolating phaser lance and universal designs, oh yeah, you just want this on the build, but you have to understand how to use it. And I think a lot of people that have the immolating phaser lance don't quite get that, because it hasn't really been explained, I don't think, that well, that you can't spam bar it. You have to time it. And then, yeah, you can take that and apply it to any build, yeah. Yeah, Michael, the blue quality crit doffs, they save you a lot of money, and they're not that different. It's not that big of a hit. You know, like you put out there, 15 mil versus 175. Yeah, I mean, they're so much cheaper, and they basically proc just as much. Asgard, I don't know. As far as I'm aware, if I got a dev to tell me, they could tell me, but I don't think I want that number. If it's completed ISEs, it's gonna look a lot better. But if it's how many times have I entered an ISE map, even I'm gonna be just ashamed of it. Stokes, that's a good question. I guess the best way to change it would be to extend the duration, but lower the amount of damage it does per tick. Like if you made it so the console lasted 20 seconds, but it only did like 15% per second, that would make it better for the more average players. But it wouldn't necessarily, it wouldn't be as useful for a high-end player. Rob, that is fake news. Engineers are not the way. Terrible. Rob's being elitist again. Is there an alt account of casual SOB or casual SAB? What do you mean, marking game or? In game or on YouTube or? I mean, this channel used to be called SOB's Casual Corner. Then I renamed it. Oh no, Nick's awake. Nick, how's it going, buddy? I'm gonna do another Argala with the bug ship just because I want to go and shoot them Vodwar Polarons again. Becky, the trait is it went live in its buff state. It is a very good trait. It is going to make surgical strikes very likely better than beam overload. Funny thing, Mark. So SOB was my main, but way back in the day, I did sort of make like a twin of it. S0B. I was gonna do PvP with this character, but it never got that far. I did a little bit of investment, and then it died out. Engineering is emergency power to failing? Yes. I usually use a bit more elitist terms with regards to engineers. Rob can attest to that. Rob knows just how much I appreciate engineers. Mark, SAB is my initials. And Mark, yeah, that was the idea with S0B, was that I was going to go into Karat. That was way back in the day, like that was 2014 I made that character. Documents from the 1000, how you doing? Yes, Becky. I wish Cryptic gave like a CC commission on ships. All the ships we sell for them. I wish they had a program like that, but I don't think they very much approve of the Lockbox coverage that I've done. I'm not in a very good build, but apparently there's an ISE forming in the EPS channels right now, so let's see how this goes. I don't expect this to go well at all for me. I move this SCM window up. That's not what I want to do. Can resize this now. Doesn't have to be so large. I tried to make the chat box a little bit better today. As you probably noticed, I redid the overlay for like this part of the stream. The starting, BRB, and ending are all the same, but the actual scene while playing has changed up a little bit. I just wanted to try and make it a bit easier to use, or a bit easier to see things. And I also have a webcam apparently at the door. Mixu said earlier that it got delivered, so I should actually go outside and grab it here in a little bit. Colds, they don't approve of the community period. Yeah. Spencer Archibald. Terrible. The third? Oh no. Got a thing on my phone just a little bit ago. Apparently high wind warnings here in Iowa. Terrible. I also do not have abilities on my ship here that I should have. Yeah, I hear having evasive maneuvers on would be really beneficial. You know what I gotta do here? I'm probably going to die in this infected because I don't know if we have a tank. Oh no. Get it out of here. Look at this. Look at this thing right here. Terrible Megla. Asgard, I had considered that, but I use my phone quite a bit while streaming here, so I don't think that'll work out well for me. And McStew had a spare webcam that he mailed to me, so that's what's sitting outside the door right now. Apparently, I didn't get notification from FedEx, but or you guys or whatever Stu used, but he was saying earlier that it showed up as arrived. I need to go and grab that here. I'll probably grab that right after this ISE real quick. Yeah, I've got my window open right now. The breeze isn't really coming in here because the window's on the east side of the place, but I can definitely like hear it already starting to pick up. Yeah, I'd heard something about that, Cold. Does the camera have a mixed stud filter? Oh no. You know, honestly, McSue needs to rename to McStud. He just needs to rename the channel to that. That's what he needs to do. And Goss, I don't remember if I responded to your comment there, but yeah, that's understandable. Like the gambling stuff. You know me, I like to gamble in the game, but I do it all free to play. I could not imagine spending real money to buy the keys. That would be brutal to me. Okay, Darthon, I'll check. I'm gonna check that out because I think it was you or someone else had mentioned something about he was fully trained up earlier. If he's trained up in like everything, that is really nice. I'm gonna use the Agony redistributor right here at the start, and I'm gonna get completely screwed over by my teammates that are probably also using it. I mean, it wasn't the best run, but it was a run. Catching up on chat. That would be funny, Mark, but I'm not sure how much longer I'm going to be able to stream today. I've been going for about 2.5 hours now, and my throat is quite dry right now. Trying to figure out how to get the Wayun buff now. When I got mine earlier, it gave it in the pack when I claimed the level up. Grab it. Like when I claimed that pack that took me up to level 65, it dropped in the inventory, or no, it was sub pack. So when I opened like the pack that had all the ground stuff in it, there was a Wayun Bridge Officer pack there. So Wayun, y'all were saying, oh yeah, he's got everything trained. Damn. Everything for command and uh science. Yeah, that's really nice. Yes, thank you, Megla, for tanking. Quit. Megla. Megla's a very nice individual, and I heard Megla really likes Chevy trucks. Yeah, that tank in there is really good. Yes, Wayun has a lot of things already trained up on him, which I think is actually this is a nice thing to see. I don't think they've done it with any of the other ones, right? So that's nice. Yeah, it's nice to do it, Mark. You know, I know there's a lot of people when some of this stuff comes out, they're like, they want to know if it's worth grabbing, and I think with the price of this Captain bundle at $45, it's not that bad. Goss, I was running into that issue when I set up my Bugship earlier on SOP. Yeah, it was, I did not have things trained that I needed. Yeah, I agree, Darthon. Crusher, how you doing? On the 10th of next month, there should be a lower decks lockbox, it looks like. We don't have official confirmation yet, but it looks like it. Yeah, I will be right back. I need to go grab that package from the door here quick, so be right back. Hopefully no package thieves. Oh yeah, that'd suck. Yeah, the current lockbox is not good. And then the other issue you have is that I'm distracted. The Muds pack that's currently out. I have to imagine it's not actually selling that well for them. Just cut this package open quick. Like this Muds and Delta Quadrant, or Muds Lost in the Delta Quadrant pack, it's just so underwhelming. Like there's the VOD War Juggernaut in it, but I think most of the people that really wanted a Juggernaut have it. Trying to get this package open. Oh no. God damn it, Stu. I can't even show that on stream. Stu sent me a very nice message in the package alongside the webcam. Thank you, Stu. That is very much appreciated. And that picture, I did, Rob. I used the knife that I got from Broken Soul to open it, and I can't even react to the picture on stream. Rob, you can imagine what the picture is. Just don't say it. You took the Juggernaut in 4 T6 tokens? Yes, that's probably what I think most people do. It is the exact picture you would imagine it would be there, Rob. It hurts. It hurts my immersion. I need to load my keybinds on this character. It's a signed Shelfie, is what it is. Let's go with that. My keybind. Trying to load my keybind so I can just log out of my character easily. I don't remember what the name of these files are. Pretty much, Goss. It's a picture that makes me just wanna just go vomit. Be another way to describe it. Jug, Kawavi, and Keys. I think if I got that pack, it would the Jug for sure. The Kawavi, I'm not too sure. It'd probably be the T6 tokens. I like the Kawavi, but I already have the Kawavi on characters that need it. The picture in the package, it's an internal meme. I can't really talk about it too much. Just know that McStew's a funny person. And this fan right outside my window is extremely loud. I'm disturbed by that comment though, Crusher. That's terrifying to think about. I think those pictures he would have sent to Trizander. Yeah, Asgard exactly. Inside jokes are hard to translate. The best way to describe it is it's just an inside joke within in our group. Because McStew, myself, and a few others often do quite a bit of ISC runs. Yeah. Yep, I'll set that up, and it'll Saturday stream should be the first one with the webcam. Then you can, I'll see I'm a fat American. Which I mean, let's be real here. Like, if I type in /played and we see this, what the hell else did you expect? 463 days of playtime on this character. Doing the Jem'hadar tutorial at the moment. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Becky. What I want is I want more characters to have the sticks, because the sticks is a really great platform. You know, it's probably the best tank in the game overall. It's one of the top DPS platforms. It's just a really good all-around ship. It can even do energy weapons, but I don't want to buy any more of them, given they did that new skin for it not that long ago. That they leaked and they quickly removed. Like, now that they've done that, I feel like it's going to be put in the C store. I'll be right back. I got a phone call coming in. Yeah, that was just my sister, so I can ignore her phone call and move on. Sticks may come with a bundle. Yeah, that's my thoughts. I have the sticks on a couple characters already, and I really don't want to buy it on more if it's about to, be in a bundle. Like, it would be great in a Muds bundle. Legendary sticks, I would hope not. I think that the current sticks layout is extremely hard to beat, and I would not want to see any other layout on the sticks. DPRM Muds bundle, it'd be great to have the TOS shred, the sticks in the same bundle. That'd be really great. I don't think the DPRM is as much of a must-have as I think a lot of people do. I think it's a good console. Don't get me wrong. I don't think it's the end of the world to not have it. But I am using other methods to increase my survivability, like running with a tank, using Exodus Active Probat, Protomatter consoles. So I'm just getting my survivability through other means. So I do want to remind people, and let me pop open display capture here for this. We've got a big giveaway going on the Builds Discord. This has just under 2 days left now. The winner will be drawn on Saturday at around 1 p.m. Central Time. There's 600 people that have entered so far, and this giveaway has a lot of things in it. You've got some very useful traits, but then you have the TOS Dread, which is the ship that has the DPRM, the Section 31 Intel Science Destroyer, and the Delkina, all in this one pack for one winner. And these were all donated by 1800 Broken Soul. So huge giveaway there. Okay, let me see what else. Oh, so this is in progress, but on my Discord, I know there's not a ton of stuff on here right now, and I do want to work on that over time. The builds Discord's taken a lot of my attention in the past couple of months Discord wise, and I also need to start getting some stuff prepared to redo the DPS channels, so that's going to be a bit of time. But for my personal Discord, I am going to set up some channels down here. They're private right now, but I'm going to have just my builds posted here, just for people wanting to reference back and take a look at my builds. So I'll have my DPS builds in one category, tank builds, support builds, and these will be locked channels where it's just me posting my builds, and then you all can, ask questions and all that about them. All Things Trek, thanks for the $10, man. Really appreciated. Yeah, the crit chance videos, I don't know if the next part's going to come out next week, or, well, it'll probably be the week after now. Because I need to cover some more of the budget things that I had missed, because I completely blanked out and forgot about the Bellum consoles from the Discovery reputation, and it's honestly just because I had never used them. They're good consoles if you're on a budget. It's just when I came back, I already had all the really nice Lobby consoles and all that. I also am gonna work on a crit severity series. I probably could have merged them, but there's just so many different sources for both crit chance and severity that I figure breaking it up probably is not the worst thing ever. Further, let me catch up on chat here. For the Legendary Vesta, Mark, I think that's very possible that we could see the Legendary Vesta come out in a Legendary Federation Captain bundle. Keep in mind that while there is a bunch of Federation Captain bundles, they're for the other Federation factions like the TOS or Discovery. Those are technically different starting. The start is completely different from the normal Federation side. See here. Yeah, Ray, I agree. DPRM is not needed all the time, but it is very nice to have when you need it. I wish they'd give us the sticks as an incentive to start up a new character. I'd love that. Mark, builds for casuals. Triz has been he has been bugging me about me not putting up enough casual focused builds. So maybe, at some point I want to get back around to it. To be honest with you right now, this is just me being, the DPSer I am. I have a goal right now of, I need to stop being, I need to get good and retake the top of the ISE table. So until that happens, I'm super focused on those specific types of runs. So I may do just a few infecteds here. It's just a few. Oh yeah, we took Triz in actually the other night. I remember now too. That was fun. Until I take back the top of the ISE table, I'm probably going to keep focusing on the really high-end runs. I've now had several runs that would have taken the top, but in each of those cases, something went wrong. So, but once I do that, like I had a run on my side that would have taken the top had the gate went down fast enough. I had this run that would have went up had there not been loose spheres on the right. Like as soon as I take that back, I'm probably going to start messing around with some more of the fun builds again. If you recall, I did an Akira build about a year ago. And I would really like to start revisiting that and some of the other more like casual focused builds and just seeing what they can do. I know, I know. I know you're joking around with that. I just gave a discussion piece there. There's still tons of budget videos. Yeah. The issue I have, and this is more of a first world problem for me, I'll admit, when it comes to some of the budget options, the issue I have is that I've just never used them. You know, when I am doing builds, because of the type of content that I focus on, that like bleeding edge min-max situation, I focus on what is the best gear I can get. I don't focus on the budget stuff. The budget stuff hasn't been a concern of mine for a long time, so that means my personal bias is towards that environment, and it does mean that I miss things like the Bellum consoles there from the Disco rep. You know, they're really good. It's just as soon as I got any of them while working on the Disco rep, I just threw them away. You know? Like they are good. Just not something that really impact what I personally do. Filthy casual, yes. Very cold in space. I do not believe it does. I don't think that counts as a control. Let's see here. Very cold in space. Is that not on here? I don't think that counts as a control. It's an exotic. Let me catch up on chat. Yeah, the thing is the high end, like the high end, like doing really high end split runs is already so different from even just like what would be a high end channel environment. It's just crazy how niche it all has gotten. Becky, how do I claim the Jem'hadar Captain upgrade? It says it's in the top selling tab, but that doesn't exist. So once you're past the tutorial, it should be in the items list, I think is where I claimed it. I went to items, and yeah, it was just here as Captain Pack under items. So let me know if it's there for you. See here. Yeah, plenty of info out there for budget builds on YouTube, much less on the high end, yeah. And it's nice to have an idea of what the very high end is, but I think one of the things we have to be careful with as content creators now is we have to, if we're involved with this really high end stuff, we have to understand we have to understand that we have to really explain to people just how niche that environment is. Like they're right now for the split runs, you know, there's one group even doing them right now, though the one that I'm doing runs with. No other DPS group right now is doing split runs. Like, and even then, the amount of groups that do the really high end left right coordinated supported runs, you're talking about like 15, 20 people in the entire game that actually do things at that level. Like in that record setting leading edge min max level. see what these Discord messages are. Okay, that's Game Freaks. Thank you for sending me that. That's pretty funny actually. Let me take a look here. I need some WD-40 for this damn chair. It's very niche and it's also really expensive to keep up, if we're being completely honest. Okay, let me pop up the screen. Borticus tweeted this about 20 minutes ago. A recent analytics report indicates there are around 20 million uncommon Phoenix prize pack tokens sitting around on various players unspent. So basically with this, I'll put this in chat too so you guys can take a look at it. Crusher, I claimed the level 65 on a brand new character. It was on a brand new character just under the existing area. Or the items tab, I mean, jeez. No, Quentin, you say things that I just... I'll be honest, I don't know how to respond to you sometimes there, Quentin. I really don't. Stellar Nova, yeah, the recruitment event is live. Well, I talked about this, I forget where, a couple days ago, but from what I remember, when they did level 65 and they gave us Mark 15 gear, they did the background, like the behind the scenes work for Mark 16 gear, if I am remembering correctly. So, here's a good way to drain some dilithium, though, it would be temporary, but it would be really good sync. Give us, access to Mark 16 gear. Maybe give us a level cap increase to level 70. Give us the, Mark 16 gear. I mean, imagine if everyone has to upgrade their gear again up another mark. Shadow Poet, that's a good question, but this isn't indicating 20 million accounts. This is just indicating that there's 20 million Phoenix prize packs sitting on accounts that haven't been used. Gonna mute for a second, take a drink. Legendary gear, I don't know how that would work out, but yeah. Like, you get the idea of Mark 16 at least. Like, imagine if all of a sudden we have to upgrade all of our gear up just one more mark. Like, it wouldn't be needed to play the game, but, we'd all would want to. Just checking here. Apparently more muds, or not muds, they're adding some more things to the Phoenix store here soon, apparently, is why Borticus is looking at the Phoenix stuff so much. Make the burn happen? Yeah. Could you imagine how pissed off people would be if they did a burn? Like, you lose all your dilithium? Oh, man. How many people would quit the game over that? Yeah, the Terran, yeah, I think it'd be a lot of people, man. Be a lot of people that would quit if all your dilithium was just nuked. Isn't the drop rate on the epic token stupidly low? Yeah, it's like 1 out of 2,500 or something stupid like that. I was talking to, I don't know if he's still around here, Brett's gaming channel. He's at Anubis 77C in game. He had something that I've thought about this too in the past, and I think a few of us have. Everything that's in the Mud store should be in the Phoenix store, and basically everything that's in the Phoenix store should be in Muds, for everything but the the big Muds bundles. That is, um, use the Phoenix store if you want it on just one character. Use the Mud store if you want to buy it account wide, but just know you're paying a premium to get it unlocked account wide. Like, just put everything from the Mud store, bar the big ship bundles, in the Phoenix, and vice versa. I think that'd work out fairly well, I think. It's time to fly the bug ship just a little bit more. Show off these really nice Vodwar Polaron visuals. They really do look nice. The Vodwar Polaron dual heavy cannons. Yeah, I need like the Imperial Rift set, so if I could get that, that'd be amazing. But I also know, a lot of people really are looking for neutronic eddies. Yeah, I think I've got 4 epics sitting in the bank right now. My friend Nick, he went and opened like 100 or so worth of Phoenix packs a week or so back, and he got completely screwed over. He's got like 2,000 upgrades now, but that's all he got to show for, and 6 ultra rares he did get, but no epics. Like, look at how nice them Vodwar Polarons look. Also, I promise you I have none of these weapons on the exchange. They were literally just the ones I grabbed out of the bank to put on. I used to run these on the Vodwar Juggernaut. They just look really cool. Or the blue streams coming out of my ship there. Like, even on Elite, it's so satisfying to just sit there and hammer the targets with rapid fire. Yeah, Mark, there's lots of things that need to be added to various packs and all that they have been way too slow on. I think I moved my mic a bit closer there. Back just a smidge. if I look at the lockboxes, the Delkina's been out for almost 15 months now, right? Like the Delkina has been out for 15 months and it is still not in the Infinity Lockbox. Like the Delkina should have been added half a year ago to the Infinity Lockbox. It's ridiculous that it's not there. Now, when next month comes around, if they followed the old rules that they used to go with for the Infinity Lockbox, the Disco Refit, the one that has universal designs, would also be added into the Infinity Lockbox. But I doubt they're going to do that. They don't want to add things to Infinity for some reason. It feels like. John, elite tokens for the Ultra Rare Phoenix tokens? I agree. I've got... How many of these do I have on me right now? I don't have any ultra rares, but I've got the 4 epics. Honestly, I'm at the point with the epics, like I have nothing I can use them on. It's like Crusher, you were saying there, like I have nothing to use them on. I have everything in here unlocked because I played during those events. Like I wish they'd add something in there that I could use them on. I doubt they'll do that. Michael, yes, that was the Lucari. Need to make the ships tradable? Honestly, I think the Epic Phoenix tokens themselves should be tradable. I know not everyone may agree with that, but I think that would be really nice on the EC, on the EC economy if we could, just sell Epic tokens to each other. I think that'd be a great market. Um, Saving my epics, yeah. I have converted a few of the epics in the past, but they're so rare to get. I don't want to really get rid of them just in the event that they did actually give us some addition to the epic store there. The question is, why aren't they updating the store? I think it is legitimately just that they are not being given time to do so on company hours. Like, I think changes to that are right now would have to be done on their own by the devs, like just in their free time. Mark, I don't know how aware anyone on their team is right now of the meta, to be honest with you, for anything. I really don't know how in touch they are with the DPS meta, where they're going to get their information, or even if they're if they're bothering to go out and get information at all. Like I know Bordicus said he watched some of Augie's videos, but a question I would have is how recent, and how much attention was being put into them. Though I do have to say, Bordicus is definitely. I'm not shitting on Bordicus or anything. He's been really good in the past couple of months. With all the things he has done for us in free time. Like I know the Intel stuff has some issues, but the changes to Intel, the like surgical strikes, getting that huge buff too, that's huge for giving us more options and making some older ships more viable. Wait for a second here. Um, 50 Lobby for 1 epic token. I don't think that'd be enough. The drop rate for an epic token being as bad as it is, if they did something like that, it'd probably have to be closer to like 1,000 Lobi. As crazy as that sounds, like that they are that hard to acquire. Just going through, make sure I got everything. Yeah, Dillith to EC with selling epic tokens and ultra rare. Yeah, that would be an amazing segment for the market if they allowed us to do that. Time to crowdsource their off time work. I I get the idea there, but I think that'd be terrible. Like what Goss is saying there, like they need to be Cryptic needs to be allocating time for them to be going through and improving older parts of the game on, company time. Uh, you know, these changes, while I appreciate the devs going out of their way and doing them, Cryptic really should be doing these things, like assigning some time to actually do this type of stuff, internally. Step 2 of the Lobi idea would be to actually add ships back into Lobi. Yeah. It's crazy how there hasn't been a new Lobi ship in basically 2 years. So Mark, with Pilot, one thing that I would bring up, and I think I mentioned this earlier, I can't show it on this character. Reroute reserves to weapons when they had that like triple testing group back in the day, apparently. It used to be stackable alongside other firing modes, is what I was told. And honestly, I think that's what would have to happen to make reroute reserves to weapons actually good again. So reroute reserves to weapons, if I pull it up here. It's basically it increases it, instead of your weapons draining weapon power, they drain engine power. And it increases the firing cycle haste for your energy weapons. So really this is fairly weak on its own. Even with the buffs from that from the new Vanguard trade, it's not going to be that great, I think. They honestly just need to go back through and I would say make it so this works alongside like beam overload, whatever. Surgical strikes, fall. That'd make it so much stronger. John, yeah, I think a lot of people would be going nuts for something like that. The issue with the multi-vector assault modules or whatever on the Prometheus right now is, well, with any of those separation pets, is they just suck. Like if they gave us the wingman mechanic, and maybe they would start to do some damage. But right now, all of that separation stuff is basically a DPS loss to slot, which is unfortunate. Or expand their workforce, yes. I don't think they're taking on anyone for the STO side right now. I think it's for Neverwinter and an unnamed future project. Take a look. Actually, they do have an STO position open now. This is just recently posted. Producer. Wonder who was their current producer for live operations that would have been stepping down. Moving on. If we get Legendary Prometheus, I would hope to get a T6 version. Yeah. I would like to see something like that, but when they gave us the Audi and the Galaxy, they didn't do anything for the separation consoles there. Those mechanics just stayed the same and were extremely underwhelming. Those credits list who the producer is? No. I don't know who the producer is that they're replacing or whatever here, but that's a new position that's popped up like in the last week or so, I'd say. I wonder how that'll change things when they get someone new in there. Okay, folks, I have been going for 3 hours now. My throat is a bit rough right now, so I am going to call it for today. If anyone has any final questions or comments they want to kick in, feel free to get them in here quick and I'll answer. Rob, what's going on? Wait. Thanks for stopping by, Goss, and everyone else that stopped by. It is, I'm a bit worried about this. Oh no. I know what you guys are doing. Okay, we'll do one of these on stream. Hit it. Uh, they're wanting to do PvP. Okay, I'll do this one PvP match with y'all and so show people how casual I am. I think exceed rated limits. I agree. It should work like what I was saying for rear out reserves to weapons, where it can stack alongside other things. That would make it much better. They want to do the PvP endeavor. I'm ready, Nick. Hit it. Exceed rated limits, though, is one that I have never really used much myself. I think J, Talor, and F have already done some testing regarding the, all the changes to those abilities. I don't think it did too well. The issue with exceed rated limits also is that it actually does damage to you. So it's not the most perfect ability. You can tank the damage it does to you, but it does do a fair bit to you over time. My PvP build is completely out of date, so nobody expect anything great here. Peter, thank you very much. Hey, 200, that is very much appreciated, man. Often. I don't know why the notification didn't go off for you there. Sometimes the overlay is like a bit laggy for some reason. Let me reload it. I don't know why that did not show up for you. Yeah. Once again, Peter, that is very much appreciated. Thank you to everyone that is, stopped by and everything today and donated. It helps quite a bit. PvP is one of the few endeavors I just skip. Terrible, Ray. Ray, you are literally, you are so elitist. It's just the type of stuff that you would love. Like, you get to all these, you know how you get frustrated when you're doing your ISAs and you got people flying off to the right or things like that? Like, you get to take out your frustration on them in here. I don't know who all's in this match, but it's about to be brutal. Can't target this guy. I'm in a red Gravwell. Oh no. I don't have the right specs on. I can't target this guy. There we go. A backstep. I'm not a fan of EPGs, so I can take out my frustrations on this CPG player right here. This Psy and the Anorax. There it goes. Thank you again, Peter. I don't know why the notification took so long to pop up there. But it is very much appreciated. I need to not fly into these red Gravwells. They're actually very dangerous. Yes, this is PvP now. You just fly around with beam arrays and one-shot people, pretty much, or try to at least. Oh, I did absolutely terrible. Rob outdamaged me on his engineer. He's never gonna let me live that down. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, no, no. I'm getting out of here. Took time for the money to arrive from Europe. NG Master Race. Terrible. Oh my god. Thank you again, Peter, Asgard, All Things Trek, for all the donations. It's all been very much appreciated. And everyone else that stopped by today, you know, I think we hit like 70 at one point here during the stream. Yeah, actually, we almost hit 80 at one point, it looks like, looking at the concurrent viewers. So, thank you to everyone that stopped by today. But I am going to wrap it up because my throat's getting pretty dry, and it's also getting pretty warm in this room right now. So, I'm going to call it here, turn the fan on, and go hear how this engineer just out-damaged me. I'm never going to be able to live this down. Thank you, John. And yeah, Stu, I got it. Yeah, Stu, I got it, and we'll talk about that package. You know, the picture you sent with it, just I need to go burn it with fire. Okay. Thanks everyone for stopping by again. Next stream will be on Saturday. And next video, I might record one. Depends on how I feel. I have a video that I want to get done here soon when I talked about earlier about like just meta breakdowns. I had someone ask the other day about emulating Phasal Lance plus Universal Design, so I might get that video out and just get that done quick over the weekend. Okay, that's it for today. See you all next time.